Hello everyone and you're welcome to today's talk show with Odurole Mojibola, your shoemaking made easy tutor. I am so excited about today's talk show because we're going to be discussing Jibbyfemforte shoes 6 years experience. I'm sure you want to learn one or two things from the challenges, the ups and downs, and how I was. So yes, I told us that today we are going to be discussing what are the major challenges and then what are the step downs and the ups and downs attached to this journey of 6 years. Now, first of all, I need you to know that if you are just starting up as a shoemaker or cord winer, I want you to understand that the first thing, one of the most significant thing you need to know is you have to ensure you register at the right place. Yes, because I have found out that one basic thing that can actually make you successful in your shoemaking journey is your ability to connect with the right tutor. Now, I have had a lot of students tell me about their experiences with their tutors, but I just want you to know that getting the right tutor is the key to your ability to actually enjoy shoemaking. And one of those basic things I do is I make it easy for you. Very easy. For those of us who have actually been following me for a while, I'm sure you know that that is basically what I do. I make it easy and simple for you. Now, one of those things I remember very well when I was going to register, to learn, to apply, I actually learned in a particular federal government parastatal, is a technology incubation center. And of course, I went there to see what exactly the person does. The person I want to go and meet to instruct and teach me about shoemaking. I went ahead and find out, okay, what does he do, and things like that. And I find out that it's so amazing that what I saw, I was just surprised. You mean you use your hand to make this? And at the end of the day, when I finally went and started the training, because I need to be sure the person does it. Another thing I've seen so many of us do is you just see their final product. You don't even want to know whether they can create patterns or not. I have found out that so many of those tutors all around cannot create patterns. It's either they know they can create it, but they cannot transfer it to you. They cannot teach you how to do it. And that's what I do. I don't just show you, I don't just give you patterns, shoe patterns. I don't just create. I teach you how you can recreate yours, which is what so many others don't do. They teach you, they pick patterns. They have, an archive of patterns that they use per time for any design. And then you end up not learning how to create the design. You have to watch this. Make sure the person you are registering with knows how to create pattern and has the capacity to actually teach you how to create it as well. So, out of the little experience I have had, for this past 6 years, I came up with a book on the business of shoemaking. I want you to know that it's something you should grab. Ensure you grab a copy. Now that we have sorted out how to create patterns and the ability of the person to actually put the patterns together, create upper perfectly and neatly, and the ability to transfer the knowledge to you is actually the basic thing. So many people knows how to make shoes. They know how to create beautiful footwears, but they don't know how to transfer it with ease. They make it complicated to their students, and that is what I don't do. I ensure it is easy for you. Even in my class, I'm sure you can testify. I have so many people from different nations of the world in my classes who are actually learning. They have not learned offline before. All they are doing is still online, and they are producing very perfect results, and they are able to sell to others. So I'm just encouraging you. Probably you are still considering, where do I register? And probably you have talked to me, you have sent me a DM, and I told you the price, and you're like, oh no, online is quite expensive. Please, I just want to encourage you. If you intend to create a brand around shoemaking, trust me, I'm your best vlog. If you want to create a brand around it, but if all you want to do is do what everybody does, then you can go to any other tutor. But if what you need is someone who can help you to create a brand around a brand around your shoemaking business, then trust me, I am your best blog. Because what I see happen is this: when you cannot create pattern or recreate patterns yourself, there is no way you can actually brand a particular design around your name. As long as all you do is what everybody does, the designs everybody does is what you do, nothing makes you significantly different. So I want you to know that that is one basic thing you should consider before you go register with anyone. Whether you want to go online, you want to go offline, please don't look at the expenses. As much as possible, my classes are affordable. And now I want you to understand that this is not me preaching me to you. This is me telling you the truth about what is happening. Now, I'm sure you're not thinking is everything I teach now I got from where I learned. No. There are a lot more that has been added to it. So that is actually that. For those who are just starting, if you're already in and then you seem to still be having challenges probably about your sales, about people relationship with you, and about how to let people know, I think that's another level I would like to discuss. Now, when it comes to, okay, now I can create patterns, I have produced my footwears. How do I sell them? How do I cost them? How do I ensure that I can save? How do I ensure I can make profit? That is entirely another thing when it comes to shoemaking. And it's involved in every business. And that is why I keep saying it and I keep saying it. When it comes to you creating the design, the upper and finishing it, when it comes to the business itself, I do the combination of the two in my classes. If you miss the 3 weeks intensive training, well, I wish you never did. But if you do, I have decided to put it as a course together. It's just $20. Just lay your hand on it. The amazing thing is that you have a lifetime access to all of the courses. So, and at your pace, you can learn right in that class. You can ask me questions and I will respond to you. Now, I need you to understand that you have to understand how to go about your calculations. So many of us believe that I bought, everything I spent is 1,000 naira, for example, or everything I spent altogether is just $5. Okay, so let me add, I will just add like a $1 or $2 on top. That will be my profit. That's not how to calculate, though. That's how so many of us has been running into loss. And you ask yourself, what am I doing? What exactly am I doing? Stop working for others. These are the basic things I taught in the 3 weeks intensive training that you felt, what would they learn there? Probably that's the reason why you find yourself still struggling with your ability to build your business to another level. Now, let me talk about sales. I have had a lot of experience when it comes to sales. I have had people take 50% of my money. They took my capital, took my profit, and never came back, went with the product. Yes, I had that experience. I had so many of such experience. Sometimes somebody will tell you, just help me to create a particular design. You send them design, they pick, and then when you are through with it, you're like, ma, I'm through. And the person is like, don't worry, I'll come and pick it up. The person has not paid. Your capital is being tied down. Your profit is being tied down. And you're like, what is exactly happening? Is this how people run business and fail? And you're just wondering what exactly is happening. Now, I have had a lot of experiences like that. I'm telling you the truth. Those things happen. They are there to challenge what you said you want to build. They are the challenges you face when you run a business. And I found out that you learn more. In those experiences, you learn more. So when I mean you learn more, you learn how to coordinate yourself when it comes to your customer. You learn how to relate with your customers. You learn when to say no and when to say yes. When people propose, you can continue with the production. By the time I want to pick it up, I will make full payments. No, you are pre-ordering for it. Make your payments, which is your commitment, and then we go ahead and make production. That is how it's been run. They taught me that. So if you have not started, you are just starting, please put that at the back of your mind. Never produce footwear on credit. Never. Or let the person make sure at least they pay 70 to 80% of their payments. Yes, I mean it. Because if all you do is, now, you produce, they just paid you anything. Sometimes you feel like, I trust this person. The person has been patronizing me and I've not had issues. I had experiences like that. Now, your business should have rules. You should have rules and regulation that governs your customers, that governs you, that governs any other staff that you have. There are rules. Can anybody enter a shopping mall and buy on credit? They don't. So if they don't, they should not come to you to actually do that. That's by the way. Now, I want you to also know that when it comes to sales, when you work on your product and you find out that, begin to ask people, what do you think I should work on? I think that's another thing. When you are just starting, prioritize people giving you feedback. Even, of course, when you have grown, let them give you feedback about your product. What do you think I should do? What do you think I should not do? What are those things you notice? At least, I want you to know that some people will criticize you out of envy. Some will criticize you out of jealousy. Some will criticize you for no reason. And some will come with very proper criticism just to encourage you and let you know, okay, work on this, work on this, work on this. You understand what I'm saying? So all those building blocks, you have to work on them. That's the first stage. Because you can actually move your product to being on the other people's shelf. If you cannot afford to open a shopping mall or a shop, so to say, to display them, then I want you to consider, talking to other people who have shops and who are into the business of clothing, and then probably they don't do shoes, and you just want to talk to them. Go with some of your samples. This is what I produce. I don't know if you will be able to, incorporate this into your boutique, and something they are handmade. Then you come to, you have to agree on, okay, do you want to collect it in advance? Do you want to just be dropping it there just to showcase it? Do you want them to pay for it? So you need adequate, agreement on all of these things if you are going to be doing it. I know some, for example, there are so many big shopping malls that people supply product. Of course, if you look, for example, now, if you look at Peps, for those of us in Nigeria, they are not the one that is producing all the things in their stores. If you look at like in what do they call it, in Abuja, for example, we have Sahad, we have Gifts, we have so many shopping malls. They are not the one that is in charge of everything supplying. People come to supply. Find out. Just go there. Check out if you can meet with their customer care. How do people supply? I want to supply things. I want to supply this. Find out. Because I find out that so many of these things, we don't leverage on them. Please, don't look down on yourself. No matter how small, please just make that attempt. Make that attempt. As much as you can use even people around you, probably in your neighborhood, there are some people who even sells provision. You can have an agreement with them. I'll be displaying my footwear. This is the amount. This is the profit you'll be having over it. Agree. Just ensure that you agree. The essence of all of this is to make your brand known. Yes, make your brand known. Make sure you are not thinking profit first. Of course, in your production, you must make profit, but make sure that durability, you understand, is your major goal, and that is what will help your business move to another level. Somebody can recommend and say, I bought a particular type of sandal here and my baby is still wearing it. I have had people who bought from me and like, my baby is still wearing that sandal. Those are the things I want to hear. In short, at the end of the day, it will not size their children again, for example, and they will end up coming for another one. And I have had adults too. In short, there's some footwear I made for some people for over 2-3 years now, and they are still wearing it. I'm sure you'll be wondering how come. Yes, of course, the sole might have actually become something else, probably because of the kind of sole I use. But when it comes to leather, that is still intact. Of course, we can still replace. And even before you find out that the sole is no more useful, the person must have used it for a long while. Make quality products. Make quality products. It speaks more than you creating cheap products, saying it's cheap, it's affordable, and using bad raw materials. It kills business. Now, I need you to understand that when I say make sure you have agreements with whoever or wherever, I need you to understand that if it will cost you written agreement, please let them write, let them sign, have a copy, let them have a copy. I have had issues when it comes to this as well. You give product to people, you can't find them, you can't find your money. It's so amazing that a lot of things are happening, but I want you to make sure that you allow God to guide you. I remember vividly the last experience I had. This woman just saw me talking about, oh, I make footwear and this, and she told me, oh, she sell clothes for people who are working class, go to offices and sell clothes, and that she can also come pick up some footwear and help me market it. And of course, as much as she was talking about it, I was just trying to search my spirit. Holy Spirit, what do you have me do here? Because sometimes you think some people are here for your good. They are not. In the first instance, they come like, oh, they are like, oh, the best person all around you. It's just a lie. It's just pretense. Now, what happened? She came, of course, I gave her some of the product I have on ground. I wasn't ready to create more. I just told her, okay, let her check these ones if she can market them. She now took some and she decided to go market them. She came back and told me, oh, some people said they want a longer size. Some people said they. I now told her, I said, are they making payments? He said no. That when I make it, then they. I'm like, no, that's not it. That's a no-go area. In the first instance, the reason why I allowed her to go with those products was because I already had them on ground. And I felt, okay, if I see somebody, of course, I was trusting God for somebody who can help me to do marketing. You understand? Now, sometimes you really have to employ somebody to do some of those things for you. Employ them. Have a legal agreement. So that when they do their sales, you know you have a return. There's always a return. There's a way you can actually go about all of that. Now, at the end of the day, I just find out that she just told me something happened to her mother. She went with my footwear, my money, and I'm just like, what is happening? She will soon be back. 2 months, 3 months, the money, the goods, went and kept my goods in her house, left for her mother's burial, and never, till today, I didn't see my money. I did. And the goods, of course, she later told me, she will ask somebody to come and return it. The person returned it. All the ones she sold, she never returned my money. And I'm like, what is happening? And all she can say is, she just collected 2,000 though, and she used it for her mother's burial. You can imagine people. So please, I need you to be very careful. You want to make sales, but trust God for wisdom to handle people. In short, she told me, oh, some people love this one. I should please create. She said I should not worry. She will sell them. I should just create. Of course, I needed somebody to do exactly what she was doing. But in my spirit, I was just like, Holy Spirit, what do I do? And I think I had a warning not to create footwear and give to her. There was this nudge in my spirit. So I didn't create. I was so careful. In short, all the ones I gave her, she did not return the money till today. I think recently I was just sending her a text. I just sent her a text. There is God. Oh, I think that was what I just sent. She never responded. I called her. I found out that she wasn't ready. Later, I began to see my footwear on people's leg all around. And I'm like, I just want to ask it because I had to talk to a particular woman. And the woman was like, the day she gave me, I paid her. And before that time, she was always telling me, no sales, no sales. Those who collected have not paid. I just want you to know that when it comes to business, we have to trust God for strategy. You have to trust God for strategy. I have to trust God for strategy. So that at the end of the day, those people who do not understand your business are not the one that will wreck the business. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So if it will cost you to do it yourself, please do it. If it will cost you to employ somebody and make sure somebody is standing for them for the marketing, please do it. Because I know it's not easy to market and to sell. It's not easy. But so, to make and then to sell and do the marketing yourself, it's not something that is easy. How long will you sit to do it? And for those of us, if you think you want to deploy other people to make production for you, you trust them, please go ahead and maximize that. Give them the designs, let them do the production, make sure that they are doing quality jobs because it's important. It's your brand. It's your brand name that is on it. You understand? So I want you to know that it's not something you should give up on. If you have already started, I encourage you not to give up because there is always actually light at the end of that tunnel. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm not sure. For me, I would have thought of giving up. Trust me. I have had a lot of experience, terrifying experience. So you will just collect my footwear and just not bring my money. I'm like, what is happening here? So please, and I have found out that that has built me, it has helped me, and it has encouraged me, it has helped me to know how to go about business on its own. You understand? So I think with these few talks about my experience so far, you have been able to learn one or two things. And thank you for joining my show. If you are still if you are just watching me for the first time, ensure you subscribe. And I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.